Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades in the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and my bio and social media accounts. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, I did finish the week with 9 wins, 2 losses for a win rate of 81.81%. So definitely pleased about that. I did not trade on Monday. It was Columbus Day, but it was also Thanksgiving here. I didn't want to trade. It was a holiday, and I just didn't want to trade. But I did call for traded his room before I did take the day off. I said SPY puts under 660, which is right here. And it went right to 660 and kept buying, and every time it went to below 660, it just didn't really go anywhere. The range looks very, very tiny, especially after Friday. We had a massive dump. While the day we had a 15-point day drop or so. Then it dropped another $8, so massive. Then it bounced back up. Then it just did nothing. So probably kind of glad I probably took that off. But first trade I took was on Tuesday. Traded his room. I said on Tuesday the 14th, calls over 658, thinking we were going to get a dead cat bounce, which we did. First 10-minute candle is green. Sorry, not green, red. But for some reason I took puts. I don't know. A part of me was like, okay, we had a big bounce on Monday, didn't really do anything. We dropped down a little bit, have a little bit of a bear flag. So usually what ends up happening is when we gap down or drop this much at open, we either shoot up right away or we end up just dropping a little bit before we actually pop. So we did. So once we put new lower day, I took puts. I took the chance, grabbed puts just in case. I grabbed the 65.20 puts at 10.20, and they went from 10.20 to 14.50 right there. And I should have taken calls here. I don't know why I didn't. These candles are massive. That's 6.57. Those are $3 candles. And another thing I wanted to look at was show you was on SPY. The 1 hour 654. Yeah, that was another thing I was looking at. If we get on to 664, that we were going to drop because that was the level here, and that we could possibly see 646 possibly. I mean, that's pretty substantial. At 654, I knew that if we lost this level right here, pre-market low, and over here, that we could possibly drop down to the 650 area. But I wasn't sure, but I wanted to treat it like it was a fake out, and glad I did, because that's exactly what ended up happening. So I ended up dropping a little bit and then ripping the other way. But I wanted to buy calls here, but I don't like buying after these monster candles. So I took the chance here, but on the pop back up, I wasn't sure if we're going to break higher day. So I didn't take it, and it just ripped, and it had a little bit of FOMO a little bit. I didn't do anything. I waited till 12.55 is when I took puts at where's 12.55? Right here? No, up here, 12.55 right here. And reason why I took them up here, let's back it out. Why did I take it here? Because we rejected here, we rejected here. So what is this? Oh God, all these indicators. 665 was the big area, and it rejected it, came back down. Actually, I thought it was going to go to 666, but it didn't for some reason. SPY loves 666. I didn't quite get to 666, but when it started rejecting 665, I took puts. I was not buying calls up here. To me, here it seemed crazy. Up here, it just seemed even crazier. So I just sat out and waited for the right time. As soon as it failed to get to 666 and rejected 665, that's when I grabbed puts for a small rejection. That's all I was looking for. I wasn't looking for a 50% retracement. I took the 66.70 puts at 10.70, and they went from 10.70 to $17 plus right there. So that ended up being a good play. It just went sideways. Then we had more news and a drop. So this week has just been crazy to trade because of Trump just tweeting crazy things. So yeah. Then on the 15th, I took 2 losses and 2 wins. Now, the first one is I traded his room, I said on the 15th. SPY puts in at 666, which is right, back it out, right down here. 666 right here. And I took puts. Right when it broke new lower day, I took the 66.50 puts. As soon as I got in the puts, it ripped the other direction. I cut it quickly. And I got calls at 10.13. Let's see, which is 10.13. Why did I grab calls up here? Make sure I get the right day. 10.15 at 12.13. I don't know why I grabbed it up here, but for some reason I grabbed calls up here. 67.25 at $10. Oh, this was when it pulled back. Okay, I remember this. Yeah, I pulled back. That's why I grabbed calls, thinking that we were going to pull back just a tiny bit. Sometimes SPY just likes to just rage straight up like this, and have the only way to buy was to buy a small red candle. So I guess I had the mindset of that happening again right here, and us shooting to all-time high again, getting to 674 plus 675, shooting for all-time high. So when it dipped, I bought the dip. I bought the 67.25 calls at $10. Didn't get that much. I added at 10.40, which is right here when it dropped a little more underneath 669. So I added more at 7, make my new average 8. And then it dumped, and I had to cut it. Now, I actually started to bounce a little bit, then I had to cut it. So yeah, not too thrilled about that. So 2 losses right in a row, back to back. I don't usually have 2 losses like that. I don't know. So I was more calculated with my last 2. I took puts at 11.37, which is right 11.37. Oh, when it broke new lower day. Sorry, just keep hearing noises. But anyways, yeah, as soon as it broke new lower day, we get this massive candle. When he broke new lower day, I took the chance for puts. We were going to flush through, because that's what we've been doing. We've just been flushing through with all the trade news. So I took the 66.70 puts at $11, and they went from 11 to 22 right there. Bounced up a little bit. Then I took puts again at 156. 156. Where are you? Right up here at the rejection of the 20 EMA. Yeah, right here. Right when it got, because you got it bear flagged right here, right around the 64.50 area. So that was acting as support, and now it's acting as resistance, and this 20 EMA is this blue line, so it rejected. So I played the plus I think we had a hidden divergence, and so yeah, I grabbed puts at 66.50, puts at 7.50, and then went from 7.50 to 9. Didn't really go too far on that. So then I took, let's see, I had 3 wins on the 16th. So traded his room on the 16th. I said SPY puts under 667, which is right up here. First 10-minute candle's red. Some reason I took calls on a broke high day. Oh, because, okay, what happens is SPY, what it likes to do is, I don't know if I did this the day before, it will fake right here. It'll fake a lower day drop, then it'll pop. It does that a lot. So when it did it here, it faked the lower day drop, then when it came back at the higher day, the candle was much small. It was really, really small. So I broke this higher day candle right here. I jumped in calls. I jumped in the 67.20 calls at 7.50. And they went from 750 to 990. SPY is very, very tricky to trade. And even this was a fake out. I mean, they faked the drop, they popped it, faked that, faked another drop, faked that, faked the top. I mean, it's just going boing, 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 boing. And it's just how SPY is, especially in the open. It's just, it's what it's doing is it's trapping everybody. So no matter how patient you are, you wait out the first 10 minutes, it starts trapping the 10, 15 minutes. You start waiting out that first half an hour, it starts trapping the first half an hour. It just seems like no matter how good of a strat you have, they always seem to find a way to trap you. So, yeah. Then it took calls at what, 1041, which is right 1041 right here. Okay, I did take this as soon as it broke high day again. But I think I took it when it went over 668. Yeah, I took the 6720 calls again at 750, and they went from 750 to 985 on that pop. So got calls here, got them here. I didn't touch the drop right there. And I grabbed calls at 12 o'clock, which is right here. This was pre-market low or previous day. Yeah, pre-market low right here. That's another thing that SPY has been reacting to is to well, let me just cover the play first. I grabbed calls at the pre-market low, the 66.90 calls at 670, and they went from 670 to 920 every morning. Actually, I have two charts. One chart, not on this chart anyways, but on my day trading charts, I have two charts. One is on toss that marks out previous day's close, previous day's high, previous day's lower day. Then on trading view, I have pre-market high, pre-market low. Those are the ones that seem to matter the most. SPY has been rejecting the most. As you can see, this is pre-market high, got close, rejected, and got above to pre-market high above it, quickly went above it, then it just rejected it, and you can see right here it came up, rejected again. Pre-market seems to matter more than previous day. Usually previous day's high and lows were like dead on, but for some reason the last month or two, pre-market range is very important, not just pre-market itself, but previous pre-markets too. So I would start mapping those levels because they matter the most for some reason, and not going to try to decide or figure out why. It just is. It's reacting to it, and that's the areas we need to watch, is where SPY is reacting, because the market changes. There is no surefire strategy or indicator or anything like that. The market's always changing and evolving, and when you start seeing patterns, or start seeing not just patterns as in candlestick patterns, but patterns of where SPY is reacting, then you need to stop pointing that out and start watching it. So on Friday trading days room, I said SPY calls over 661, which is up here, right here. First trade I took was, I didn't touch this. I mean, look at this. Lower day, higher day, both trapped, both sides, pull back, then it actually popped. It's just, this is crazy. SPY's been doing that, but I waited out that. I took Tesla though, 1056, right here. SPY had a massive opening range candle. I was actually looking at puts right here after this big green candle. I was looking for puts at under 424, and it didn't. It just popped. Then we got to the 440 area. It made a $16 run in less than an hour. That's pretty extreme. And we started to reject the 440 area and came back down, popped up, and I was like, okay, we got it. This is a nice rejection. If it gets underneath 435.40, I'll take puts, and it did. And I grabbed the 440 puts at 625, and they went from 625 to 930 on that drop right there. So that ended up being a really good play. Then I took SPY calls at 1136, which is right here when it broke lower day. This is lower day. As soon as it came down to lower day, I knew they were going to bounce it. This is something they love to do, especially on range days, is they'll come down, make it look like it's going to dump, and they'll make new lower day, make it look like it's going to dump because we've been dumping all week, and they rip it the other way. They get everybody, jumping inputs, and they just rip it the other way. But me, I grabbed calls right down here. I grabbed the 66.50 calls at 710, and they went from 710 to $20 right there. So that's what I did this week. It just seems like you always just are changing the way you trade because of the way things are. And yeah, I mean, I could have bought calls right here, and Trump tweeted, and I could have took a hit. But I mean, trading, there's no surefire way. It's all about probabilities and statistics, and there's always there's always a chance of risk. That's why options, you don't lose any more than you put in. So don't trade with what you can't afford to lose. That's the moral of the story. Because people that go all in and don't understand that they can lose it all is just stupid. So that's going to do it for the recap. I hope this has helped, and thanks for watching.